up? It's Breyonna. So today we're going to be testing out the brand new Ashley Strung collaboration with Morphe, and I gotta say, I am so excited for this collection. Like, it is just so fun and different. And I mean, just look at the packaging of the palette alone. Like, this gold accent with like the blue and the green and like this like baby pink blushy color. Like, I just think it looks so cool. And it also opens like this. But I mean, look at that color story. Like, it is so beautiful. Like, this blue shade right here, this matte one, is just really calling to me. But maybe I just like this palette because it's like a green, like smoky, grungy kind of vibe, and you guys know that is totally my thing. And also there's like blues and purples in here. Like, it's just a really beautiful curated palette. Oh, I just cannot wait to put this on my eyes. Like, it's just such a fun palette, and it just has like a very inspiring color story to it as well. But like with this collection, they also launched a cake liner little like palette, and this is something I haven't tried from Morphe. I haven't tried out their cake liner formula, but I mean, just look at how cool those colors are. Like, they're very grungy and earthy, and this butter yellow is just a very different shade to include in here. Like, I don't know, I just think this palette just looks really fun. And the last item that I have out of the collection, I believe, is a lip duo. Yep, and this is called the Gilded Spirit one. You know, somebody means business when they put their hair up, but I did prime my eyes off camera, and the first shade I want to go in with out of the palette is this kind of like lighter green shade, and this one is called I Am Focused. Ooh, that looks really, really pigmented, and I'm just going to be taking it on this blending brush from Luna Magic, and I'm just going to be popping that in my crease. Dang. Ooh, that is pigmented right away. I'm also just like blending this upwards towards my brow. Wow, that is a really, really pretty color. It's kind of like a green, but it has like a little bit of like that earthy, like brownish kind of like undertone to it. But I am going to go in with a second layer. Whew, that is just such a pigmented shade. Like, a little goes a long way with this one. And again, I am going to be smoking it up fairly far, because I do want to do something really dramatic today. I mean, I always do something dramatic, but you know what I mean. For a green though, in this kind of depth, it's blending out really nice. One thing I will note about this shadow is that the more that you build it up, the deeper it gets. And it also is applying a lot deeper, you know, the more layers I have used than it looks in the pan, so just keep that in mind. Again, I don't mind because I do like something really dark. It's just catching me off guard a little bit. Since this shade built up to be so pigmented, I don't feel like I need to go in with anything else, but I'm going to anyways because I do want to try out more shades out of the palette. But the next one I want to go in with is this really pretty kind of like emerald green, and this one's called I Am Confident. I really like that the shade names in this palette are very like empowering and just very positive. Like, that's just something I really appreciate about it, because, you know, sometimes the names can be a little bit on the questionable side. So it's nice just to have like those like feel-good ones, you know, here and there, if you know what I mean. But I'm going to be taking this shade on this brush from Anastasia. This is an A25. And I will warn you, it is a little bit powdery in the pan. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, that's applying a little bit darker than I thought. It's definitely like deepening up this look, while also adding just like this little touch of like a blue tinge, which I really like, and I think it's going to go really well with the shades I want to use on the lid. So I'm going to go in with a second layer. But one thing I'm noticing about the mattes in this palette is that they are very pigmented. I mean, like, look at that. Like, I'm using a really fluffy brush, and it's just like really like pow in your face pigment. And also, it just seems like these shades blend out really nice too. Because like greens and like these kind of like grungy smoky ones can be very tricky to work with in my opinion, especially the deeper ones that have like a little bit of blue to them. But so far, like, the mattes in here are just really nice. I don't know how Morphe formulated this palette, but like, dang, like, I need this kind of matte formula in my life with all of their palettes. So to help me a little bit more in like the grand scheme of things is I'm going to pack a little bit of I Am Confident on this outer third of my lid. And I'm just using this brush from Anastasia. It's an A3. It's like a little flat shader brush. It's a little bit on the fluffy side. Like, it's flat, but it just has a little bit of fluff, just to really like press in that pigment. You see what I mean? Like, this shade is just super, super intense. But even though it is really deep and rich and just like really pigmented, it's also very easy to blend out. So I cut my crease off camera, and as you can see, I have like this chunky kind of like situation right here, which is not the vibe I'm going for. So I'm going to go in with a little bit more of I Am Confident I'm just gonna pack it right on top. And as you can see, like this shade is just beyond pigmented. And it's not looking chunky or funky either. So for the lid, the first shade I want to go in with is this kind of like smoky purple. And this one's called I Am Beautiful. So I'm just gonna be taking this shade on a little shader brush, and why is it not like picking anything up? I'm gonna like really dig it in. I don't know, it's like nothing's getting on my brush. Well, let's see how it applies. Yeah, like, dang, that's a really weak shimmer. I was not expecting that, especially with the mattes being so nice. I thought the shimmers were gonna be like creamy and buttery, but this one's like really, really hard in the pan. I'm gonna really like dig my brush into it. And also what I'm noticing is that this shade has an overspray to it. Do you see what I mean? Like in the center here, it's like darker and not as vibrant. But on the outer edge where I haven't put my brush into, it looks like super glittery and sparkly. I don't like shades that do that. That is deceiving, but. Okay, so the second layer is a little bit better, but again, like, I'm not vibing with it. Now I'm gonna try my finger. Oh, this matte's kind of like hard in the pan, and you can see like there's no really like shimmer to it. Like it's a matte with like shimmer in it. So weird. Yeah, like I'm not into this one. Yeah, I'm gonna go in with this one right here called I Am Exact. I want to see if this one's a little bit better. This one feels more creamy in the pan. But I'm just going to be taking it again dry on a different little shader brush. This one's from Profusion. Oh yeah, this one's way easier to work with. Again though, it's kind of on the weak side. Like, I wouldn't say it's like my favorite shimmer formula, but it's definitely a lot better than the other one. Let's do a second layer. I don't know, I just really assume them to have a lot more like oomph to them. And also what I'm kind of noticing is with this palette, like the shimmers in here are fairly dark. Like there's not like a lighter one to give you some contrast with the deeper mattes in here. Because this is technically, the one right here that we're using right now called I Am Exact, I would say is technically the lightest shimmer in this. Maybe I Am Unique is a little bit lighter. But again, like I just wish that there was a lighter shimmer in here to give a little bit more of like a contrast. So it just gives so much more depth to a look. But I'm going to take this shade and kind of go over the other shimmer that we applied. Yeah. This one's a lot better, but I don't know. I'm just, like it's like a wet sheen. But it almost looks kind of like chunky and uneven with how the shine is in person. Like on my camera and on my laptop I can see that it looks a little bit more even, but in person, like it's like grabbing funny. Like right here in the center, it's grabbing funny where my eye folds are when I like open and close my eyes. But the more that you layer it up, the better it does get. You know what, I am just a little bit curious. I want to go in with the pinky shimmer in here, and this one's called I Am Unique. Again, I'm going to be applying it dry to the maybe like inner third. Yeah, like, I don't know. I don't see much of a difference between these two that much. Like this one again is like a little bit more pink. And I'd also say it's a little bit more sparkly. I'd say out of the three shimmers that we have tried though, this one by far is the best. And it definitely looks the most even too. So now let's go in with the cake liners, and I do want to do some swatches first because I'm not too sure if I want to go in with 314, this like butter pastel yellow, or the kind of like khaki green. And this one's called Exhale. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave this flat on my table right here and then take a drop of water and use a little like liner brush. Because I can't like show you guys in between because otherwise I might make a mess and get like on my carpet and stuff, which I do not want to deal with. But what I'm doing is just dipping my brush in. I guess I'm going like this, kind of like mixing in the product. Again, I haven't tried Morphe's cake liners yet. So let's see what it looks like. Ooh, I like that color. That's a really fun yellow. Let's go in with Exhale. Oh, that's another interesting shade. You don't really see liners this color all that much. So now let's go in with Flow. Ooh. Dang, that's a really pretty color. Again, they are very earthy. I'll show you what they look like up close next to each other in a second because it's hard to go like this and that. So I just want to show you guys that I'm swatching them in real time and all of that. Let's go in. What's this reddish one? Manifest. That is like the perfect oxblood. Oh my gosh. And also these are drying 100% matte. There's actually no shimmer in them. And they also look very even too. Now let's go in with Zen. And you can see like they're just very rich. They do not have like a chunky look to them. They're super smooth. And then the last one that we have is Mantra or Mantra. So this is what they look like up close. And I will say the dark blue is a little bit on the like chunky side. Like it's not like super smooth looking. It's not terrible though. And then also the dark brown called Zen. That one's a little bit uneven too. So again, I'm just going to go in with 314, which is that butter yellow. I'm just tracing right above my cut crease. I'll be honest, I'm not really like super experienced in cake liners. I've tried them a few times, but not more than like 10. You know what I mean? Like I don't use them like every day. I do definitely gravitate more towards like a liquid liner. Just because I have really watery eyes and like I get allergies and stuff and like my eyes just get super teary, so I'm always afraid of it like getting ruined because of it. You know what, for something different, I'm gonna go in with the dark blue and do a wing liner with it. Ooh, this applies so much better than swatches, oh my gosh. And the brush I'm using is a Sigma E11. It's my favorite liner brush. Oh yeah, this is nice. It's also going over the shimmer like amazing. Like it's not like pooling above it or anything along those lines. So I just did my complexion off camera and I do want to do the lower lash line before we do the lips. So what I'm going to do is first go in with that little like shader brush that we have been using with I Am Confident. I'm just going to pop it as close as I can to where the lashes grow out. I will warn you, this palette is one of those ones that does have some follow to it, so you'll definitely want to do your eyes first, because you can even see like the little flecks down in here. The shimmers though have a lot of fallout. Now I'm just going to go in with I Am Focused on this Luxie 231 small taper blending brush, and then smoke that downwards even further. For the inner corner highlight though, we're going to be doing something a little bit on the spicy side, so I'm actually going to be going in with the like matte baby blue in here, and this one's called I Am Calm. I'm just going to be taking it on this pencil brush from Profusion, and this is a ES4. I'm just like really heavily packing it down. Oop, I got an eye boogie, but okay, it's actually really, really cute. I am going to do a second layer right away. Okay, honestly, like this is an inner corner highlight. I think just really like brought this look together. Like don't get me wrong, it was cute before, but this just did something really, really different to it. And with the matte, I'm kind of like bringing it up into the shimmer on the lid just a little bit. But ooh baby, that is pretty. You know what, I'm going to actually do a third layer just to see what happens. Yeah, this one's a little bit more on the buildable side. So the last item that we have to try out of the collection is the Gilded Spirit Lip Duo. And I'm just going to say this off the bat, like this is such a massive box for what it is. I mean, just look at that. But aside from that, I'm actually really excited about these because I've never tried out this kind of like tube gloss from Morphe or one of their lip pencils. I've tried out their eye crayon multi-purpose sticks and I've really liked those in the past. But yeah, I've never tried out their lip liners. But I guess let's see how the lip liner is. Ooh, that is pigmented right away. Not necessarily the color I would have picked with this look. You know what, I'm kind of digging it. This lip liner though, ooh, she is super creamy, but not too creamy. Because in my opinion, there is this thing such as too creamy with lip liners. Because And they're really hard to get a nice crisp blend with. Honestly, I need to try out more lip liners from Morphe. Really liking this one so far. One thing I will note though is that the color of the lip liner does not match the indicator on the tip right here. Like it looks really like reddish brown on the pencil itself, but the color is more of like a cool tone, like brownish kind of color. And lastly, let's use the gloss. And I want to see what it smells like. Ooh, there is absolutely no scent to this one. Oof. I love that color. That lip with this eye is a vibe. And lip gloss wise, this one is not sticky. It almost has like a gel kind of consistency to it. It's very, very thin too. I'd say this collection is fairly nice. The only thing that I'm just a little bit about is the eyeshadow palette, because again, the shimmers in here are kind of hit and miss depending on the shade. I wouldn't say I wouldn't recommend the palette, because again, only one shimmer gave me like a true problem. So it just kind of depends if you want a palette that has like one dot in it, or you know, stuff like that, because it's really hard for me to tell you go get it knowing that there's one bad shadow in here. But otherwise, like the mattes in here are really, really beautiful. Like if you like grungy, smoky, like just extra pigmented mattes, you are gonna fall in love with the ones in here. And also, if you are a beginner, the mattes in here are very easy to work with and blend out, even though they are a little bit on the deeper side. As for the shimmers in this palette, again, they are very hit and miss depending on the shade. Like this first one that we used right here called I Am Beautiful. This one, nightmare of a shade. It just applies so weird. It has no pigment to it. It's really hard and like dry in the pan. I don't know, I'm just not into it. It also does kind of have like that overspray to it too. So like when you first look at it, you're like, man, that's really sparkly. You use it once and the sparkle is already gone because it was just on the top, which is something I don't like when companies do with palettes like that. It just really bums me out. Now the other two shimmers in here are way nicer, especially this pink one right here called I Am Unique. Now this one just has a wow factor to it. It's super glittery and it's really creamy and very easy to apply. And if you like a wow factor shimmer, you are gonna fall in love with how it looks. And also this I Am Exact shade. Now this one isn't as sparkly as I Am Unique, but still has a lot of punch to it, and it does have like that beautiful kind of like wet effect to it too. As for the cake liner palette, I gotta say overall I am just so impressed with this. Again, keep in mind I haven't used a lot of cake liners, but these ones were really easy to apply. They were very creamy and pigmented, and also they do not crack, which is something I really appreciate, because some of the liners I have tried in the past, like they crack and they're just kind of a nightmare to work with, whereas these ones have not given me any issues. And I also feel like these colors are going to be perfect going into fall. Like if you're wanting to try out cake liners, or if you're looking for a cute like fall palette with this kind of thing to it, I think this one is totally worth checking out. I am also like really into this lip duo. Like going into this, I was like, you know, it's just a lip product, but let me tell you, this lip pencil right here, I need to get more shades ASAP because I just love the formula. Like it's the perfect amount of creaminess where it's not like super creamy where it like pills up, and it's also not like dry as like the Sahara Desert either. Like it's just very, very nice. Like this is just such a pretty color on its own too. Like, oh, like I just cannot wait to use this more. But also like the gloss, this to me is really nice too. I'm just not really a gloss kind of person, but if you like a lightweight, almost like lip oil gel-like consistency, you're gonna really like this as well. But yeah, so in the comments down below, let me know what you think about the look, and also let me know if you're gonna be picking up this collection or not, because I haven't seen anybody really talk about it, and I don't know why. But before you go though, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below, and also give this video a like. And if you'd like to check me out over on Instagram or TikTok, it's at Breyonna as well. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!